Hi. Today we are talking about what you need if you are starting to sell jewelry. I'm going to share with you my whole toolkit and all the things I use, and I'll prioritize for you what you need immediately and which of these tools can wait until you started making some revenue off of your jewelry sales. Hey, my name is Margaret. I have been selling on eBay, Etsy, other platforms for over 10 years and making videos about them. And one of my passions is teaching, and I love sharing the information that I have learned over the years to help you become as successful as possible with your reselling journey. And as you can see, I've got one of my tools right here. These are gloves. Let's jump into, obviously, these are gloves. Let's jump into the things you're going to need right off the bat if you're starting to resell jewelry. The easiest things for you to get started with are a magnet. And the reason you would need a magnet, and usually it's a pretty strong magnet. I have gotten this one, it's an extendable magnet. This isn't technically a jewelry magnet, but it does the trick for me. It's strong enough that it works. And the reason I chose this one is because my little jewelry magnet that I had forever, and now I don't know where it is because it gets all tangled up into jewelry and it gets misplaced. And so I needed something big that I could find easily. And I got a pack of, I think of 3 of these. So I have them in a few different spots and it's extendable. Something falls on the floor. I don't have to reach down. So some of us I know are a little creaky. We're getting creakier with age. So this comes in super handy. The reason you need a magnet like this is because if you've got something that you're not sure about being gold or silver, if it is magnetic, that is pretty quickly going to tell you that it is not going to be a precious metal. I understand that there are things that can be gold or silver that are magnetic, but it's not as common. So if you've got something that is not magnetic, then you might look at it a little closer to see if it is gold or silver. So that's a starting point with that in your testing methods. So having a magnet is really handy for that when you're looking for precious metals, gold and silver. The next super simple item and pretty cheap to find is a loupe. I didn't have a loupe for quite a while either because I would use my phone and just zoom in, which I still do quite a bit. But if you have really strong cheaters, that works as well. But having a jeweler's loupe that's got a pretty strong magnetism can be really handy when you've got those teeny tiny little marks that you can't see with the bare eye anymore, especially if you're like me. Those are the first 2. Then once you start getting selling, you're going to want a mandrel. And what you'll do with the mandrel, it's got a couple uses. One, if you're selling rings, then you can use the mandrel to let the buyer know what size the ring is, because that's one of the things they're going to want to know. And if you've got a ring that's a little misshapen, you can use the mandrel to slide the ring down and try to get it shaped correctly, because that happens from time to time too. So mandrel is next up on my must-have list. Next up is a polishing cloth. This one is from James Avery, but you can get, sometimes jewelry comes with polishing cloths. You may just have one laying around, but this is one that you can give your item a quick shine. This isn't going to do a quick deep clean, but it's something that, as you can see, has been used a number of times for some of the jewelry that I've got, just to give it a quick polish up and make it look nice. You can buy these, but a lot of times you can get this with jewelry that you already have. The next thing that I like to have is something called, this is called Simple Shine. Now this is the Simple Shine stick, but they've got solution that you can drop jewelry in, or they've got little Simple Shine wipes. They look like Clorox wipes kind of, but they have the solution in them that helps shine up a piece of jewelry. So this is something that I have enjoyed having a lot as well. So you can use Simple Shine, but there's lots of other jewelry cleaning products that you could use as well. One thing that I don't have, I have had in the past, but I don't have it anymore, is an ultrasonic cleaner. I just didn't feel like it did as much as I wanted it to for the effort that I had to put in to use it. So I didn't use the ultrasonic cleaner that I had very often, so I ended up gifting it to someone else. Plus, you have to be careful with the ultrasonic cleaners about what materials you can put in it, and you don't want to let it will dislodge stones and things like that. So you have to be really careful when you're using the ultrasonic cleaners. The next thing you'll want to get, and I didn't get a jewelry scale for quite a while, because because I just used another scale that I had. But once you get into really selling gold or silver jewelry, you want to know how much it weighs. The reason for that is that you don't want to sell it for under the scrap value if you're posting it on eBay or Etsy. And being able to measure the grams of a piece of jewelry, gold, silver, or other precious metals will give you a good starting point when you're trying to fix a price for the item you've got. This way you know what it weighs. You can go onto a scrap value calculator to determine what's the absolute lowest I would absolutely take for this. And then you can work up from there depending on what the item is and the craftsmanship, etc., etc. The next couple items I don't use too often because I don't do a lot of jewelry repairs. But in a pinch, sometimes I need to close up a jump ring. So I've got this little, looks like a pair of pliers, but they're curly cues on the end to really get in there and close. Like if I have a jump ring or a chain, a link that it's almost perfect, but I just need to finish that last little bit and close it off, then I have this when I need it in a pinch. But like I said, I don't do a whole lot of jewelry repairs. And then another kit that I got, this is for putting stones back on. So it's got the adhesive and these little tools for grabbing the stones and putting them in place. And this is another thing I don't use very often. As you can see, it looks almost brand new. I think I've used it a couple times. You can see but if I've got a piece of jewelry that is really high end, that is going to sell for a good amount of money, and one of the stones fell out of it, a rhinestone or something, then I have this in a pinch to get that stone put back in. And of course, I'll disclose that it has had a little bit of repair. So this is something quick, these two quick and easy things to have on hand if you have something that needs a quick repair. Moving on from that, other things that might need repairs are watches. And sometimes you have got watches that just need a new battery so you can see if it works. A lot of times people just get rid of watches because the battery's dead. They don't want to go to the trouble. So I got a little watch repair kit, which has all the tools to be able to get the backs off of the watches, and then assorted batteries. You can get these, I think the Dollar Tree may even sell them. I got these on Amazon, and it's got all the different sizes. I have some watches that I need to get in and get the batteries going in them so that I can see if they're working when I'm listing them. The next level up is once you start really getting into selling jewelry and you're listing things that are gold or silver, and you've got the magnet test and you've seen the marks in it. The only problem is that marks or stamps are cheap. So sometimes you might get a piece that's stamped 925 and it's not, or it's stamped 925, but then it's magnetic and you're like, whoa, what do I do here? So this is where the next level comes up. It's not crazy expensive, but I really recommend getting a gold and silver testing kit. This is mine. I probably need to get a new box. It's kind of rusty. It's been a while. It has all the different, and they are acids, the acids that you need to test your gold and silver. It's not very hard to do, but this is where the gloves come in. I want to make sure that I've got gloves to protect my hands because those acids can start really irritating your skin if you aren't protecting your hands with gloves. And I've done a bunch of different videos showing how to test gold and silver in different ways using the gold testing kit. And the gold testing kit that you get, there are different, I think the one I got actually came with the scale, it came with a loupe, it came with a little magnet, and what else did it come with? It came with a lot of stuff. And then the kit I got also came with a diamond tester. If you've got something that you're not sure if the stone in it is a diamond, then the kit that I got came with this diamond selector, and it's also, again, really easy to use, and you just poke it. If it goes, the line goes all the way over, then you've got a diamond. And so that is what I used for a really long time before I got something more sophisticated. And again, I have all this linked. There's a link down below that says Texas Gals Jewelry Toolkit or something like that, that has all of the items that I am going to be showing you here. With the gold and silver testing kit, it comes with a little black stone, and it looks kind of like this one I was just cleaning up, but it's much, much smaller. And so I went ahead and bought myself a larger one to be able to see more clearly on this larger stone. But something else I recommend, so the silver acid turns red. and it's really, really super hard to see on a black stone. You can use the 18 karat gold for the silver, which there's a whole other method for that that does work on the black. But I've heard reports from friends of the channel that are saying that it's not working the same. So I'm not sure if I don't know why they would change that. But the method I used before the 18 karat gold, if I'm using the silver testing acid, is that you'll get this side's glazed, but you're going to use the unglazed side of a tile. That way, if you're using the silver acid, you'll be able to see it turning red. So here you can see it's just an unglazed tile. I have a bunch of these under the stairs because when they redid the house, they had a bunch of supplies left over. And that's what I got. But I had an unglazed piece of tile before this from something my grandmother had not painted. And so I had that bit that I used. So you can get these at a garage sale or under your stairs, maybe in your attic, your basement, wherever. And I'm going to be linking videos along the way. You've probably seen them pop up of different ways that I'm using these tools. The next thing, this is getting a little more advanced. The next thing that you're going to need eventually is a UV light. And this is something that you will use if you are trying to see if a stone fluoresces. So things like amber and rubies, all sorts of different things fluoresce when you've got a UV light on them, which means they change or they look a specific color. So having one of these to check your item, and this comes in handy for other stuff too, if you've found uranium glass or other types of glass that also fluoresce. So having a UV light comes in super handy. I will say, if you're using it for extended periods of time, definitely protect your eyes because it is a UV light and it can hurt your vision if I made that mistake, let me just say, when I was doing a big amber video. The next tool in my toolkit is the Simichrome polish. And this is something that I use when I'm testing Bakelite. So Bakelite is a old plastic material that was made with formaldehyde. And in order to test to see if what you've got is Bakelite, you use the Simichrome polish and it will change color. It turns to a specific color. Again, got videos for all of that as well. So this is something handy to have in your toolkit if you think you've got something that's Bakelite. And again, with this item, I would also use my gloves because it's a polishing cream and can be a bit abrasive to the skin. And then finally, this is the tool that I had to really save up for, but I'm so grateful that I did. This is my Presidium gem tester, and this is what it looks like. And this is a tool, depending on this version you get, they're anywhere between $200 and $300. And what it does is that it tests for all sorts of different gemstones. So if you've got a ring, a bracelet, anything with, say there's a blue stone and you're like, I don't know, is it a crystal? Is it a sapphire? Is it a topaz? Is it, what is it? And I don't know. And having the Presidium gem tester gave me the ability to be a lot more confident in my listings because I could test the item. I could take a little video of me testing it. And that way you're sure about what you're listing as far as pricing and being accurate. And then the person that's buying the item is also getting the confidence to buy from you because they can see that you're testing your items and they're getting what they're paying for. If there are any other tools in your toolkit that maybe I left off, definitely leave a comment down in the comment section so that I can add something to my toolkit that maybe I don't have. And if you're looking for any of these items, I do have a link in the description down below. I hope you found this video helpful. Happy jewelry hunting!